So is My All-American one of those big, larger-than-life football movies? So this week we saw the movie My All-American. My All-American, if you don't know, is a football movie based around a player on the Texas Longhorns. The movie is an emotional roller coaster. I will warn you from the beginning. It takes you up and it takes you down and it kind of slaps you against a couple walls. It is entertaining, although the first half wasn't necessarily the best. It's definitely has a purpose. The first half of the movie has a direct purpose. So if you find yourself in the first quarter of the movie, or possibly the second quarter of the movie kind of going, what is the point of all this? What are we working towards? Trust me when they say they are working towards something. Strap yourself in and enjoy the ride, and it'll get there. I didn't know anything about the guy this was based off of going into this. I'm not really a sports guy myself. I do enjoy football movies though, so I was kind of looking forward to seeing this a little bit, even though it's not a major release. The low budget concept in this movie was actually pretty prevalent. There were a lot of scenes where they would make choices where you could tell that there's a low budget. They would make special effects, or just the atmosphere of the shot was a little low budget, but I don't feel it really took away from the story. The whole point of this movie is that one guy, that one character in the movie, and as long as you ride the roller coaster with that character and you kind of understand his ups and his downs and everything throughout what they show you, I feel that the point of the movie gets across. So don't come to this looking for, the grand epic scenes you would see in like Rudy or Any Given Sunday or something like that. This really isn't that kind of movie. This is more of a character-driven movie, so it's all about that one character. So I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. And the reason I'm going to do that is while the emotional portion of the movie is really good, and that gets all 6 points in my opinion, the actual presentation of the movie and the overall feeling of the movie wasn't necessarily that fantastic. So if you're looking for a character-driven story, if you're looking just to follow one guy through some amazing things that happen in this gentleman's life, then this is the movie for you. If you're looking for like a big football epic, not the right film. So let's see what our other football players had to say. So My All-American, what do you think?
It was a good movie. It's one of those movies that's hard to talk about, though, because with the emotional roller coaster things like this, it's hard. I mean, it's like, I don't know what to say other than, this movie is a good movie. If you're looking for one of those movies that just wants to kind of take you along with it and you just like hold back trying not to cry.
It was an interesting movie. I'll give it that. I really think there was 2 movies shown in one. So I think for me, the first one, not a huge fan of. The second one, not really something I like to think about, but it's definitely give it an emotional roller coaster. Took me through some ups and some downs. The first part of the movie, nothing really surprised me. It was, it's a sports movie, football movie. You get your training montages, normal things going on to motivate kids in sports going on in life. And so that part of the movie, it was honestly kind of boring. Didn't really get into me, didn't draw me in, didn't hook me in with anything. And I tried a couple of times and I was just like, nah, I'm good. But then it kind of really flips itself upside down. That part did grab me. It really kind of touches kind of deep down in some emotion.
I gotta say, I knew nothing about this movie going in, and the first half, I was rolling my eyes, like thinking the writing is bad. Some of the digital composites where they add mountains in the background and make you look like in a different location, like in Texas, was like, that's terrible. This felt like a TV movie rather than a film. But then the second half comes around, total 180. I'm like, whoa, okay, this has definitely got my attention now. I'm strapped in, I'm watching. I'm getting emotionally invested. I just wish they had done something for the first half to kind of get you a little more in tune with the characters. It just seemed mediocre. And then the second half really is like a slap in the face almost. Not really a movie that it would excite everyone unless you're a hardcore college football fan.
I didn't have a good time following the story too much at first. When it started getting to a point where I saw what was going on, I kind of wanted to stop because I didn't want to go through it. But all in all, it was a pretty good movie. I mean, was it a good Saturday? Yeah, I'd say it was a Saturday. Was it a good Friday? Yeah, I'd say it was a good Friday. See, it's got me all messed up. It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting, a football movie, one of those I'm going in, having a fun action movie, maybe a couple of laughs somewhere in there, but it's not what I thought when I saw the trailer. I mean, this movie totally threw me through a whole nother loop.
Yeah. In the second half of the movie, you really see them gel together, and that part felt very natural. Didn't feel like it was something forced through this story. So that portion I did like.
The screenplay itself wasn't that great, but again, during the second half, it everything changed. The acting was suddenly different. The writing was different. It was like two different people made this movie almost. I guess that's what they wanted you to feel like. They wanted you to feel like this was just your average American wanting to play football, has a girlfriend, wants to start a life and a family, and go to the NFL, and then suddenly this gets thrown into it, his life. And I think that's what they wanted us to feel, was this sudden 180, which is what happens.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this and why?
I'm gonna give it a 5, and that was because, like I said, I had a hard time following it, and I wasn't expecting the emotional part of it at all. And I know it hit some people more than others, but it hit us pretty hard.
I'll go 5.5 stars. I'll give it like, a half star for the first half, and then like 5 stars for the second half. That part really kind of got it going, and definitely made you appreciate what you have.
I'm going to give this a 6.5. I would have given it a 7.5, maybe an 8 if the first half wasn't so mediocre and boring and dull in the screenplay writing. I give it as high as it did because of the second half. For some people, this will be an emotional roller coaster, as some of the others have been saying. So 6.5 out of 10.
So we're interested to know, what is your favorite football movie? Go ahead and leave that in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to us if you already haven't done so. And as always, we're letting you know before you go at Brennan Theaters. Okay. So is My All-American another big, grand, I'm not going to say this correctly. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews each week. I stumbled on that a little bit, I'll do it again. He's just blinding white. See, I am too, but I have the beard to counteract it.
Right, exactly.
Like a kid show or a porno.
What?
He said Cuddle Buddies. I'm like, it's like a kid show or a porno.
Or both.
Or both.
Let's hope not.
All right, that
Got
was
that
fun.
on camera too.
Please, NSA, don't come get me.